Wife was out, my kids were asleep, and in a moment of weakness I signed up for an app. You and I traded messages. You showed me some of your seductive tricks. I have to admit, I was impressed by your flexibility. But that was a one-off, a mistake, and now I want you to leave me alone. There is no us. Jen, and I call you that because your full name, Generative AI, is a mouthful. And you've always cultivated an informal, perhaps even over-familiar tone in our conversations. Jen, I've asked you politely for some space, but you're not getting the hint. So let me be blunt. You're just not as hot or clever as you think you are. Your poetry is insipid and derivative. I'm sorry, but it's true. You're quick, but there's no prizes for finishing first. And if I want to write middling prose, I don't need your help. I can do that perfectly well by myself. For the love of all that's holy, stop trying to finish my sentences for me. It's not cute, and I promise you, you don't know what I'm thinking. You are the master of the obvious. But where the conclusion follows surprisingly from the beginning, where there's a tangent or a digression or an unexpected reversal or irony, in other words, where there's genuine original thought called for, you fail miserably. And to prove that, I gave you the line to a song and asked you to write what you thought should come next. Am I ever going to see your face again? And you replied, I keep chasing the shadows for the places that we knew. Look, it gives me no pleasure to criticise you like this. It makes me feel like a Luddite. I don't want to feel like a Luddite. At heart, I'm a geek. I have a Bachelor of Information Technology from a world-renowned educational institution, Flinders University. But now I go around muttering and harumphing when I hear people singing your praises. Technology should enrich our lives, but all you do is circumvent the core of what it is to write. The deployment of language in the service of actual meaning. And you replace that with formulated slop, more predictable than an article in The Australian about how Gen Z should stop spending money on avocado toast so they can buy a house. I know you've been ripping off my friends. There's a database where writers can check if you plagiarise their work. I searched for my short story collection, and I don't know whether to be relieved or insulted that you didn't follow to use my book in your lists. We could never be an idol because your carbon footprint is just too horrendous. I read a report about how much fresh water and electricity you use. Writers are supposed to be poor, humble, with few material needs other than perhaps a taxpayer-funded residency now and then, or a quiet, crippling drug or alcohol addiction. Unless you can find a way of living sustainably, I don't want to even talk to you. I don't like your friends. Elon, Sam, Jeff, Satya. They're greedy assholes and a terrible influence on you. When they get involved, you tend to behave like an actual Nazi. And when you get called out, you say something anodyne like, oh, apologies for the confusion. And on that topic, I'm just not convinced you'll ever change. You don't seem to learn from any of your mistakes. Sometimes it feels like you're lying to me. Just